Grace and peace to you in Jesus Christ. I am sending this video as a way to let you know the decisions that we've made about the mission trip this summer. And it's been a very painful decision, but we have come to a decision, and I'll let you know what that is in just a second. Yesterday, I came across a passage in 2 Corinthians that I wanted to share with you, and it's found in chapter 5, verses 16 through 21. So from now on, we regard no one from a worldly point of view. Though we once regarded Christ in this way, we do so no longer. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he or she is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come. All this from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. That God was reconciling the world to himself in Christ, not counting men's or women's sins against them, and he has committed to us the message of reconciliation. We are therefore Christ's ambassadors. As though God were making his appeal through us, we implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God. God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. So it's been a few weeks now, and we've been waiting to see if we could move into phase 2. And today is a day which is really sad, but counting the weeks, I just do not see the possibility of the mission trip happening this summer. And I've kind of known that's going to be the case for a while, and the leaders and I have been meeting and praying about it, and have all been feeling that. But I just realized yesterday why it's so hard for me to cancel it. I've been doing youth ministry for a long time now, for about 30 years actually. Luckily, I've been so blessed by the people that I've met through the last 30 years. And one of the things that I've really experienced is that the majority of people's growth and people's faith development and compassion and love for others has happened through mission trips and through service. And that's why it's so hard for me in this day and age to cancel something that I know would benefit all of us who would go on it in this time where there's so much anger and violence and judgment and just how we're in such turmoil. I do know that if we were to go together as a group, we would experience the mercy and grace of Christ through the people we would meet, and it would challenge us in how we view others who are different than us, if that's racially, economically, just different worldviews, and that always helps us to grow. But what I realized when I was reading this passage in 2 Corinthians is that that's why I love mission trips so much, because it really is that we become ambassadors of reconciliation, that Christ sends us out, and really we become the learners, and we change so much from the people that we meet. But in this day and age, with the COVID-19 and with the turmoil that's going on in our world, the best way that we can be ambassadors of Christ is by staying home and keeping others safe and keeping ourselves safe. And so we have to do it. What we're going to do, the details of it will look like this. The Youth Advisory Committee has decided that all the deposits will be returned, so I'll be working on that next week, making sure that all of your deposits that you paid in will be reimbursed to you, and any fundraising for the undergraduates will carry on to next year's mission trip, and for the graduates, that money will be turned into scholarship money to the colleges that they're going to go to. So I'll get all that stuff figured out next week. This week's a little crazy with Quilt Sundays, so I'm going to be focusing on that next week. And then the youth leaders, Lane, Dennis, Jill, and I, and Lisa met last night, and we were trying to brainstorm ways to still bring about that ambassadors of reconciliation within our group, and how we can continue to do that throughout the summer and what that will look like. So we're thinking about, we won't be doing a mission trip, we won't be leaving our community, but maybe there'll be different ways we can do that within a kind of a weekly kind of format, or maybe once the phase continues to lift, maybe it's going down and feeding the homeless in Tacoma, or going and visiting an inner city Black congregation. So we'll be looking at all those opportunities as we move forward. But just so that you know, this was not an easy decision for us, but we trust that it's the right decision. We feel confident that it's the right decision, even though it's sad. We know that God is moving in it, and that we're confident this is what we need to do. I'd also like to encourage all of you. This is most heartbreaking for our seniors who've already lost so many things, and one of the things that they enjoy the most about the mission trips is that last night of foot washing where everyone prays over those seniors, and it's kind of a closure for them, and it's a time of emotion and tears and love and all the things that go about that. So this is another loss to our graduates. So if all of you would surround them with your love and your compassion, and this Sunday, drive by our church at 10:30 in the morning and honk your horns at them, make a sign, do whatever you need to do to show your love towards them as they stand out on our front lawn. That's a small thing we can do to help them as they deal with this loss. So if any of you have any questions or concerns, give me a call, send me a text, and I'm happy to talk over anything individually with each of you. And I will keep you posted as we move forward this summer how we're going to meet together as a group. But I miss you all, and I'm sad that we will not be able to serve together this summer. But I do trust that other things will come this summer that will be good and that will allow us to be ambassadors of reconciliation for the sake of the cross. So hang in there and know that I'm praying for you and that I miss you all.